All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the July 10th public hearing of the Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Commission. My name is Ken Lowry, and I serve as the chairman of this 13-member board. So since it's 1 o'clock, we'll be beginning our scheduled public hearing. I'd ask you before we proceed that if you have electronic devices on you that are not silenced, would you please do so as not to disturb our meeting. Thank you. So the Planning and Zoning Commission is charged with regulating the subdivision of property in unincorporated areas of Jefferson County. The legal definition of a subdivision is any division of land into two or more lots for the purpose of development or sale. And you'll see on the agenda that some of our cases involve division of property into 4 lots or less. So if you ever hear the word subdivision, it doesn't mean it's a whole big community going in. It could just be a couple of lots. So the commission is also responsible for administering the county's comprehensive plan and future land use amendments. And we evaluate rezoning cases for their consistency with these planning policies and zoning regulations as they pertain to the unincorporated areas of Jefferson County. And we provide recommendations to the commission, which makes final decisions on rezoning cases. Property owners within 500 feet of each case have been notified by mail. In addition, legal advertisements were published in a newspaper of general circulation, and signs were posted on the affected properties. So as part of our responsibility, we conduct our proceedings in accordance with federal fair housing laws. The Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, familial status, national origin, disability, financial status, or housing arrangement, i.e. ownership or rental. The Commission is also committed to ensuring fair, lawful, and equitable land use practices in all matters that come before us. So may I have a roll call, please?
Ken Lowry.
Present.
Jay Miller.
Present.
Mark Ziegler.
Here.
Cynthia Donald.
Here.
Joseph Andrews.
Present.
Kenny Cush.
Here.
Trudy Strain.
Here.
Kenny McMurray.
Here.
Steve Ware.
Here.
Edward Brown.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have 4.
All right, a nice strong 10 quorum too. Thank you. So next, may I have a motion for adoption of the minutes from our previous meeting in June?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we suspend the rules and accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. So now we'll begin with the items on today's agenda. Each case will be presented individually with a time allotment for public comment. For those wishing to speak, and I'll reiterate this as we go through the meeting, you need to come to the podium and give us your name and address for the record, and then you can make your comments or questions to me, please. So first, we're going to start with subdivision cases. We'll announce each one separately and then call for opposition. And if necessary, the applicant or their representative may be asked to come forward to the podium and answer any questions. So I'm going to call the first case today. It's case number S240021. Applicant Thomas Dreher. I hope I pronounced that right. Varthan's addition to Graysville, 2 lots proposed. Maybe I got that one right. I'm not sure. And the address is in the 4500 block of Palace Road in Graysville, 35073. Is there anyone here in opposition to this case? All right, any questions from the commissioners? All right, may I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion approval of subdivision case S24-0021.
Second.
All right, I have a motion in 2 seconds. I think Jay was first, but I'm not sure. Jay was first. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. And by the way, after your subdivision case is heard, you're welcome to exit out the door, but you can stay and listen for the rest of the fun if you like. So our next subdivision case is S250036. The applicant is Jeffrey Wright. The request is for Rock Creek Church of Christ survey, 2 lots proposed. The address is 2408 Morton Road, Warrior, Alabama 35180. Is there anyone in opposition to this subdivision case today? Any questions from the commissioners? May I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion that case S25-0036 be approved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next subdivision case is S250037, applicant Joseph Miller. The request is for the Roy subdivision, 2 lots proposed. The address is 7120 Abernathy Road, McCalla, Alabama, 35111. Is there anyone in opposition to this subdivision case today? Any questions from the commissioners? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion for approval of case number S25-0037.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. May I? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Our next subdivision case is S250038. The applicant, Hunter Lake. The request is for Sardis Grove, Sector 4, 27 lots proposed. The address is 1640 Sardis Road, Gardendale, Alabama, 35071. Is there anyone here in opposition of this subdivision case? Any question from the commissioners? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion for the approval of case number S25-0038.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. So your agenda may be a little bit different than the way we're going to proceed, so I'll navigate you through it. So, but before I do, just a few remarks. We're going to get into zoning cases. So we're going to hear the zoning cases today. The staff will present the case to the board, and then I'll call for opposition, and then the applicant or representative may be asked to come forward to the podium and answer any questions. We do limit opposition and applicant 15 minutes during that time. And just to reiterate, the Planning and Zoning Commission only makes recommendations on zoning cases. The Jefferson County Commission makes the final decision. So, Connie, I'll make sure I don't throw you off. So, we have a land use plan amendment. We're going to hear that with the last zoning case. So the first zoning case we're going to do is Z250017. Connie, please.
Yes, sir. The applicant, Mariela Hernandez, is requesting to rezone property located at 4 Houston Road in the Center Point area from C1 commercial to R1 single families for a residential use. The parcel is approximately 0.75 acres. It abuts the R1 zone district to the west in unincorporated Jefferson County, and to the east in the city of Center Point. This parcel is part of a rezoning from 1969. It was rezoned from A1 to C1 for a proposed service station that was never developed. Currently on the property is a single-family residence. The owner of the property is currently at this time wishing to renovate the property, and we need to zone it properly for that, for the renovation. The future land use plan is medium to high residential use, and the proposed zoning to the R1 zone district is consistent. Staff recommends approval. That's all.
Thank you, Connie. Is the applicant present? All right, that's okay. Let's see first. Is there any opposition to this rezoning case? Does the any commissioner have a question for the applicant? All right, so you're good. So may I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve Z25-0017.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. So, this case will go before the full Jefferson County Commission for approval. We just make the recommendation today. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to hear a land use plan amendment, and the case number is LUA 2025-0002, applicant Frank Galloway. It's a minor land use plan amendment to the light industrial designation. The address of the property is 2237 Rocky Ridge Road, Birmingham, Alabama, 35216. Please
Yes, sir.
proceed, Billy.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I won't go over what you've already mentioned, but so this is an amendment to the Jefferson County Long Range Land Use Future Land Use Plan from office to institution, industrial tied tongue, to support companion rezoning case Z2518 for the processing, packaging, storage, and distribution of baked goods by the Cookie Fix Incorporated Company. The existing future land use designation is office. The proposed future land use designation is industrial. The requested zoning is I-1 light industrial. The compatibility considerations for the board to consider: Rocky Ridge Road is a 4-lane minor arterial. Traffic counts in the vicinity are 9,799. The subject site is vacant and located adjacent to I-65 in a commercial district, an industrial park district. The proposed industrial use is limited in scale and impact and includes buffers and site improvements such as landscaping, stormwater control to mitigate adverse effects. The amendment would also allow reuse of a long vacant site and facilitate job creation and investment in a commercial industrial corridor. So this is the county's future land use map, which shows you the property presently has, again, a designation of office. You have the existing land use map, so this property is within the Cahaba River watershed. And the aerial to the right, you see the Interstate 65 corridor on the east. To the west is an existing office complex. To the south is the Tao Meadow subdivision, and to the north is vacant land associated with the interstate. I believe it's an easement, and north of that is the Hoover Industrial Park. On a street level view, you can see that the site is presently vacant, which is this photo to the upper left corner of the screen. In the lower right corner of the screen is Lot 2. Upper left, Lot 1, lower right, Lot 2. Lot 2 is proposed to remain vacant and undeveloped. That natural buffer you see to the rear of the site would remain. Lot 2 is where the proposed Cookie Fix development operation would be constructed. Staff is recommending approval based upon the following. The amendment is necessary to align the comprehensive plan with proposed zoning KC 2518. The proposed I-1 zoning is appropriate given the site's location, context, and proximity to major transportation infrastructure. The amendment supports the economic development and land use goals of the existing and proposed forward together the comprehensive plan. Lastly, the proposed use change complies with the state of Alabama enabling legislation and AICP best planning practices. And for those reasons, Mr. Chairman, the staff is recommending approval. That's all I have.
Thank you, Willie. Is there any opposition to this land use plan amendment? Well, podium, name, and address to start, please.
Sure. I'm Stephen Morris. I'm the Executive Director of the Board of Dental Examiners. We're right next door to this proposed site. That's why I don't want to say I'm against this at all. We're not. We think this is great. I just want to make sure this doesn't affect our zoning in any way or what we're doing or
No,
what have you.
we're just considering this property only, so.
That is awesome. All right. Thanks.
You're
That's
welcome.
all I have. Yes. 2229 Rocky Ridge Road, I think, which is.
Okay. Is there any other opposition or questions? Applicant present, I presume, in the back row? Okay. You have some questions, don't you?
Yes.
So would you mind coming up, your representative or applicant, and give us your name and address? The commissioners have a few questions.
Yes, Frank Galloway III, 2200 Woodcrest Place, Suite 315, 35209.
Thank you, Mr. Galloway.
Mr. Galloway, if this was to be approved after consideration and a vote, some things I'd like to run by you, see if your agreement with them. That the restricted on the business operations will be 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We also require down lighting at dark 30, down lighting, that's to keep it from going back into the neighborhoods. That you'll maintain that buffer?
Yes, sir. And the commitment to the neighborhood is not just maintenance, but there would be a covenant that the hockey stick that's shown, if you will, on the top, it's 40 feet in width on our plan. I can show you, it would be not just, it would be a commitment that is an undisturbed buffer.
Yes, sir.
So,
It would be maintained.
so what Commissioner Miller is saying is these are the conditions that we're going to put on the rezoning, which is essentially a covenant.
Understood, and that's I don't seek to push back on that. I just wish to
This is
affirm our commitment to that. Yeah.
We're kind of making sure you're agreeable to what we have down on paper. Okay?
If I may, there on the covenant, there's an encroachment. There's a carport, a neighbor on the top, the Sharps have, that they didn't build. They inherited it when they bought, that slightly protrudes onto our property. And we seek to allow them to continue to maintain that, and then when they sell the property down the road, that the purchaser would have the right to maintain that. It's a shed. It works. It's rather modest, but it's about 40% over the line. So we just would want to be clear that our commitment to maintaining that buffer includes allowing the Sharps and their successors to maintain that carport there.
Yes, that would be the good neighborly thing to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Another thing, there would absolutely be no outside storage.
Right, and that's not on the agenda at all.
Okay, so you're in agreement with these conditions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Is that everything? How about use?
I'm sorry, and the restriction on the business, that it allow a bakery as suggested by the zoning board, a bakery only.
Yes, that's what Cookie Fix does, and as we told the neighbors in the meeting, the principal goal is that this will be a production and distribution facility where if Amy was up here to tell her story, when she started out of her kitchen, she sold the cookies, she baked the cookies, and it quickly became apparent the better approach is to create the dough and sell the dough, because then the purchaser can bake the cookie whenever somebody wants to. So our goal is to produce the dough and ship the dough out to our stores. There is an occasional possibility of taking catering orders, but the first and foremost priority is taking care of our stores. That would be a complete ancillary and small component of the business. So, but no walk-up customers. That's not what's on the.
Okay, and also want to make sure that development of the property shall be a substantial conformance to the site plan that's dated May 9th, 2025.
Yes, sir. We commit to that.
Okay. So would it be a better description to say that this is an office and production facility for cookies or baked goods, perhaps?
I would say baked good. It may expand into scones or something one day. I mean, but I think baked, going really radical. But I think the bakery allows potential flexibility for expansion of products. But I don't know what the wording is, and I would yield to staff on some suggestion that we don't seek to do classic retail, but we would like the ability to bake 250 cookies and send them off to Alabama Power for a meeting, or have somebody come pick them up or whatever. So I don't. So if that's retail, then or some limit.
So don't mention companies. I almost have to recuse myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just picked it. All right. Acme Company. How's that? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Staff meeting. Sorry.
So, Michael, do you have any recommendations on the specific wording for the?
Well, again, staff has recommended that the use be limited to bakery.
As retail wholesale.
And use allowed to see neighborhood.
Okay. You got that? Okay.
Yes, and I think the wholesale ad gets me where I want to be. Okay, on that. All right.
And did you cover the height restriction?
That's going to be in there, yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else we need to cover? Any questions from the other commissioners?
I have one.
Okay, please go ahead.
There is a second lot besides the buffer and besides lot 1. What are the plans for that? Do you know yet?
I don't know what lot you're speaking of. So
Well, I'm looking at the plan submitted.
So today, we're considering rezoning both of those lots as per the request.
Lot 2.
I'm sorry, okay. I thought you were talking of a third lot. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. There's no plan for lot 2 right now. The hope is that it stays as is. The hockey stick, if you will, or tomahawk, is natural buffer to be undisturbed.
I see that.
Okay, and then there is no plan to do anything with lot 2. The hope is that we will be where everything we will ever need is right there. Lot 2 was the idea in purchasing lot 2 was principally driven from a defensive mindset that if we're going to spend money and commit to lot 1, we would like to be able to control the fate of lot 2 so that someone doesn't acquire it and put it to a use that is inconsistent with what we would want. It also helps provide, and part of it too is acquiring lot 2, to use a contemporary term, we feel gave us some street cred with the neighborhood. That we were taking that issue off the table for them so that we couldn't be used as an argument for a developer to come in on lot 2 if we didn't buy it to say, well, look, they've got a light industrial use there. That opens the door for us to go put, a machinery shop that works 24 hours a day. So it helps us in our relationship with the neighborhood, and it also protects us from a use going there that is adverse to our interest.
Yes, I see that it would give you credence with the neighbors, but it does not preclude you from in the future developing it yourself.
Well, no, it doesn't. It would have to be in conformity with the zoning.
Correct.
We told them,
Correct.
all right, and it's a fair point. In the meetings with the neighbors, we offered that, and somebody may have called and taken us up on that, for them to ask, and nobody's here, but they may have had a proxy or may have this communication, that we would not oppose a condition on lot 2 that this zoning is contingent on any development on lot 2 would have to come back to get it, quote, rezoned. So it would go from, this is an odd event, but I've had a rezoning before where you go from zoning A to rezone to zoning A because it's zoning A without, the new zoning is without the conditions. So we're willing for the time being to say that as per lot 2, we're not going to do anything to it. But we would like, without coming back here and getting approval, we're willing, chips at the middle of the table here. That's what we're trying to do. So there's no hidden agenda to, 6 months from now, all of a sudden get in the billboard business. That's not what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right. Vice Chairman Miller, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve Z250018 with the following.
No. This is just considering the land.
Land use.
So it's case LUA-2025.
No, we already approved the land use.
No, we didn't.
We did? Did we vote on it?
You have not approved the land use amendment yet.
Okay. My bad. So
In your mind.
you threw me out because y'all were asking the applicant a question about the zoning case.
In
That's
your
what-
mind, we had done it already, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so back up. So I need a motion on the land use plan.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve land use LUA 2025-0002 as presented.
Second.
All right, I have a
It's
motion.
from office to industrial, as what you'd like to specify those designations.
As specified in the package today.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is that, do you agree with that?
As presented, yes, sir.
As presented.
Okay. We're good now?
Sir?
Are we good now?
Yes, sir?
Okay, thank you. All right. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. My apologies. Now, we will call the zoning case that we've been talking about, Z250018 Frank Galloway, applicant, requests a change of zoning to I-1 Light Industrial for a cookie company's office that will include some production, processing, packaging, storage, and distribution of baked goods without any outside storage. The address is 2337 and 2247 Rocky Ridge Road, Birmingham, Alabama, 35243.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Staff recommends approval based upon the following conditions. Number one, use of the property shall be limited to a baked goods retail wholesale operation and uses allowed in the CN Neighborhood Commercial District. Number two, hours of operation shall be between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Number three, development of the property shall be in substantial conformance to the site plan dated May 9th, 2025. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Was there any opposition to this rezoning case? Any other questions from the commissioners that we haven't already heard?
Mr. Chairman, not a question, just a bit of a point of order.
Okay, let's let the applicant come up.
Okay. This is probably for us.
We've already got his name and address, right? Okay, go ahead.
Have we specified that restraint of no outside storage? I didn't hear that read.
That wasn't part of the original staff recommendation. Y'all are certainly welcome to add that to any recommendations you make.
So,
Mr. Chairman, I would like to include on that the no outside storage as we discussed.
it is on the list. I believe Vice Chairman Miller has that on his list. Thank you.
Okay.
Were there any other questions or comments? All right. So, anything else, or do you?
All right, if I may, the gentleman asked me to identify where the easement will be for the carport that encroaches. It's right around in here. So it's at the top. It's within the tomahawk, but it.
Okay.
All right. Is that, okay.
All right. We're going to proceed. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve Z 25-0018 with the following conditions. Use of the property shall be limited to baked goods, retail, wholesale operation, and uses allowed in the CN Neighborhood Commercial District. The hours of operation shall be between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Development on the property shall be substantial conformance with the site plan dated May 9th, 2025. All outside lighting shall be in a downward motion and be restricted to no outside storage. The height restriction on the building shall be approximately no more than 30 feet. And, lot 2 shall remain as office use only, as designated in the zoning.
One more, the buffer at the back of lot 2.
And they maintain a buffer in the back of lot 2, as we talked about, as you discussed. That's just pointed out. With those conditions, I recommend approval.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Motion passes. That concludes our hearing today. Thank you and have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good job, everybody. I don't know how I got off track.
Well, it went bad. We had an opposition. My question is, I know, right? These things come off the circle. That's how you get it through.
Okay, I'm glad.